Hey, ladies, do you know when you're under stress? And why I ask you is because in the past couple of months, there's been a lot. I've mentioned in past episodes about my stepmother and getting her affairs in order and a house and blah, blah, blah. And, anyways, we're in the midst of selling her house. There's some family dynamics. And I didn't realize that I was under stress and that it was affecting me in my energy, in my sleep, in the way I was eating, in the way I was carrying myself, because I was just, I don't want to say going through the motions, it was just all a bunch of to-dos. You got to do this, get this, do this. And I'm just still, because I finally identified that I was under stress, um, finally figuring out how to get my energy back because I forgot that there's these things that come at you and you just absorb them into your life and you don't actually acknowledge what they're doing in your life. And so I'm just wondering, are you super hyper aware when something new comes in and whether it's, just dragging you down and just bringing you in this total stress situation?
I'd like to ask a question before that question actually gets answered. And that question is how did you figure that out?
Because I stopped wanting to do a lot of things that I normally want to do. Social situations were like, "Ugh, really?" Everything became a big deal. Everything. Oh, I gotta go clean the bathroom. Ugh, I gotta do this. And I'm not like that. And I was just like, why, like, what is wrong with you? Because it was over winter, so you're going, oh, it's the dark days and all this stuff. And I just was like, this, I just started identifying like this is not me. What's the only thing that's new? Everything's the same. Oh, this isn't the same. And that's how I identified it.
That's great. I mean, that is such a great exercise for anybody to be able to pick up and figure out if there is that slump in their life to ask those questions. That's really intuitive. That's awesome. Love
Good.
it.
See,
I
all
love
the stuff is working on me. Yoo-hoo!
it.
No,
So what was your question again? Sorry.
no, but probably a couple of years ago, I just would have gone through and I wouldn't have even um, looked at it. I wouldn't have acknowledged it. So, yeah, kudos to you, ladies. Do you know when you're
Think,
under stress? That was the question.
yeah, I think I
And
don't know when I'm under stress until I'm deep into it.
right, because you've
Maybe
had some stressful stuff in the last couple, and maybe stress isn't the right word, just off.
just something that's, let me put it this way. It might not be like a stress, but something that's pulling your energy in a direction you don't want it to go.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
an easy way for me. And yes, I mean, between my surgeries and the moves and those have been stressors. But there's also sometimes there's these outside things that are happening over here that kind of pull at your energy, kind of like what you were talking about, Tracy G, that it just pulls the energy. And you don't realize it's pulling the energy until it's like,
Hmm.
oh, okay, hold on a minute. Wait a minute. That's what's kind of like what you did. Like you're like, what was different? Why am I all of a sudden I don't want to go out? I'm tired. I'm like dragging. What is subconsciously pulling it down? Yeah, it takes me a little bit. And I'll be honest with you. As we can tell, I'm in a different environment and no, I didn't move again. I am on a business trip and it is actually a much needed business trip because my household has been crazy for the last 2 weeks. And I just needed to be like, yep, I need to walk away for a little bit. And this business trip came at a very excellent time. So I've had that stressor over here, like constant, like over here. I have my normal life. And then I have this one stressor and you have this normal life. And so you find yourself going like this. And so, yes, um,
Sorry,
I
and
don't
probably
think,
for you, you were probably still eating properly. You were probably still doing your exercises and all that stuff. No?
yeah,
Yes, you were.
yeah,
Yeah. And
yeah.
so how can you get stressed out because you're doing all the stuff you normally do, right?
Because it was becoming a chore. When I realized that, I'm like, I'm really tired. Nope, go. Like everything just seems like you were saying, I have to clean the bathroom.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, you have to clean the
oh
bathroom.
my God, I have to go to the gym. Like, really? Can't
Heavy,
I just,
right? Heavy.
yeah, it was heavy. Like, can't I just go to McDonald's? I'm gonna just go to McDonald's and get a burger. And I'm like, oh, something's wrong.
Not,
Something is wrong.
not words I thought were coming out of Michelle's mouth.
Like, oh no, something's wrong here. We're like, so that's you put it very well, Tracy G. It felt heavy. All of a sudden, everything was like, it's a chore. It's a chore. And I'm like, nope, there's something. So it's like retract, like you were saying, like reset.
Tracy?
I have a friend who would say that it is your nervous system is dysregulated.
Hmm.
So basically, what's happening on the inside is not congruent with what's taking place up here. And you don't know how your nervous system literally does not know how to process it. So it wants to keep you from doing anything until you
Yeah.
figure it out. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And that, I mean, when your nervous system is dysregulated, yes, all of those things are like so much harder. Life is harder. Everything. Making a decision is like, oh my God, I gotta like I have to decide
Yeah.
what? What's for dinner? I don't like, come on.
Yeah.
Like
I'm gonna go to
any of that
McDonald's.
stuff. Yeah.
If
So
you see me in a line at McDonald's, you know something's wrong. And yes, I'm picking up McDonald's.
You've got
It could be
nervous,
Burger King.
right?
It could be Taco Bell. It could be like, yeah.
uh, yeah. And
Okay,
it's
so based on that though, is there things that you could do like to prevent it then?
no, but there's ways to really get out of it quite quickly. So foot ice cold foot baths is one of the quickest ways to
What?
regulate your nervous system, get your nervous system back into its
Okay,
proper state.
so what exactly is my nervous system doing that means regulating that it's not doing that it's doing at that time? Like I know you're
Like
not,
you're in like it's like your mind,
yeah.
okay, is operating under the same fundamental principles of energy input, all of the things working together, right? Because we're not like our mind is not separate from our body, from our energy, from like everything has to work holistically, right? If we think of it that way,
Mhm.
that we're all it's all one thing. So what happens is when our nervous system gets dysregulated, we literally have a pattern that's taking place in our body that does not equal what's taking place up here in your mind.
Okay.
And it needs to get synced back up again. You need to sync that back up again. Identifying that that is happening is very, very good, but then there are quicker steps to say, okay, how do I just put myself back into mode again? How do I help myself? I mean, self-care is really important. I know that term gets bantered around so much. I don't care what you want to call self-care, but the ability to say, you know what, I really actually need to rest. That is going to give me the best bang for my buck.
I'm in a hotel room.
Yeah, I need to go for a walk by myself. I don't want dogs, I don't want kids, I want to be by myself. um
I like this little foot bath thing. That sounds kind of fun.
I mean, that is one of the cold therapy. Like what?
Yeah,
Like cold therapy is one of that's why they tell you to do it
because it
is
jolts
because
it
it
back,
it
right?
it, it yeah it helps to regulate your nervous system. So if you are constantly being dysregulated because you've got high stress situations going on all the time, right? Because of I mean, if you think about Michelle's journey over the last
Mhm.
while, right? Like
Yeah.
super high stress. Your situation with your family and I think is it your mother-in-law that's selling houses or
Yeah.
changing positions or whatever? So like all of that, right? It's like it's very stressful and it's a constant thing Cold therapy is one of the best things that you can do for yourself. Get in the shower and turn on the cold water, even if it's just for 30 seconds. But if you can't do that, ice cold foot baths because your feet absorb quicker than any other part of your body. So it's like, it's really super, super great for you.
That's
Yep.
awesome.
If you're in a really stressful situation, for example, let's say you're with a group of people, you're with those family members that are just, they just create a little bit extra stress. You're with some friends that are like, they just want to breathe down your face and tell you how wrong you are all the time. And it's like, one of the quickest ways to get yourself out of those emotional situations, go to the bathroom, run your hands under ice cold water. Just let your hands run under ice cold water. And it just
So,
literally is life changing.
And if it doesn't stop, just bring out a pan of ice water and just sit there, talk to them, put your
Yeah.
hands in the
Or
ice.
throw it at them and go, you know what, you're really dysregulated. Try this. No, I don't
I
recommend
really,
that.
what I think the problem was that because, and maybe Michelle, you can tell me your side of this, whereas that because you're doing stuff and you're handling it, you don't think it's real
Mhm.
stress. Like it's
Yeah.
not, oh, I lost my job. That's stress. There's nothing dire. Well, I'm not talking about Michelle, but for me, there's nothing bad in, some family dynamics, but overall, there's nothing horribly wrong, except it creates this energy thing.
Yeah,
So,
it
Yeah.
creates a vacuum. Your body is literally being sucked, its energy is being sucked out to handle things that are difficult. But I mean, the first and foremost thing to do is to actually realize, you
mm,
know what? Shit, I'm under stress. Like this doesn't, I'm not me.
right. But that's what I'm saying is because of the situation, you don't think you're just saying,
You're
oh, come
right.
on, Tracy,
Yeah, get your
suck it
ass
up. Like,
moving.
what's
What's your
wrong with
matter?
you?
What's the matter with you?
Yeah,
Get the whip out and like
yeah.
let's beat yourself up because you're like, lagging behind and let's get this done. I mean, that should be your red flag right there. Whoop, hey, wait a minute, something's wrong here because I don't normally
Yeah.
feel like, oh my God, I gotta do this. Or oh my God, I gotta go to the gym for Michelle.
Yeah.
We don't normally feel like that. We need to, that's why that I mean, Michelle and I bang on about this constantly, but it's that whole self-awareness
Oh,
thing,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's that whole self-awareness piece that the moment you can become more self-aware about things that are going on for you, the quicker you can solve them, the quicker
Yeah.
you can go, ah, yes, I know what's happening now, and I've got tips and tricks that I know what to do to help myself get out of this situation or to move through it.
We have preached this since the day we've started this channel
Mhm.
that these stressors or being stressed or having those anxious feelings don't go away. We don't get cured that we are never under stressed or when a stressful situation comes, it's not going to affect us anymore. We're not going to get anxious, but we learn tools that we can snap out of it. Now, I think Tracy G and I are going to be walking around with ice for our feet to be putting our feet in. But it's just like you learn another tool, we recognize it. Just, Tracy G, I second what Tracy said. You realize that you're like, wait a minute, I don't want to go out. Like, why is this a chore? Like, asking ourselves why is the most powerful
Mhm.
three-letter word there is in our whole language. Why? And you realize it, and then you're like, oh, that's what it is. Okay. The minute we can say that's what it is and understand it, that's where that self-awareness that comes in. And we've talked about this for a couple of years now,
Yeah.
that it's understanding the triggers and everything that has a trigger point to it, understanding that trigger, there's this thing over here I'm handling it, but God, oh my God, it's just wearing on me now, you know? I give you kudos, Tracy G.
Yeah. Like, honestly, pat yourself on the back because a lot of people just go through that whole process and it just gets heavier and heavier and heavier and
Yeah.
heavier and heavier until all of a sudden they're thinking, okay, there's really something wrong with me. I might need medication. Something's really wrong,
Yeah.
right? And they start to
And then
think that there's a health reason for
they
what's
take that
happening.
medication and
Mhm.
they just get, it's this whole cycle. And
Well, they
you
just put their hands under cool water. I'm gonna
Get
keep.
the
I
ice
love
pack.
that. I love
I'm,
that. I
I'm
think
gonna
that's
try it.
awesome tip.
I'm gonna try it.
It's
I'm
a mood
gonna
changer,
Try it
instant
too.
mood changer. Honestly, it really is an instant mood changer.
well, yeah, it would change my mood if I put my feet in ice water.
It's like, whoa, hello.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what about you, viewer? How do you realize when you have those stressors or feel stress? Sometimes we've talked about there's certain feelings within your body. Sometimes, like, Tracy G and I were talking about, we just didn't want to do something that we normally do. Like, we just didn't want to do that. What is that? Put that down in the comments. Share this with somebody that you think might benefit from it. Make sure you hit subscribe. If you liked our episode, hit that like button, please. And make sure you hit notifications so you know when our next episode is. Until next time.
Thanks for watching, and we hope to see you as a regular member of our community.